Okay. So good evening, student. In international business, in our first session, we discussed about the meaning and nature of the international business, its characteristics, significance, and importance. Also, we discussed. Then we learned about why international business is needed, what are the implications of international business. Today, we will be covering some more topics. So, the first topic would be the recent trend and patterns in the international business. It is there in our Unit 1 syllabus. So, I am going to cover from here. Let us see how much portion we can cover in this session. So, the topic is recent trends and patterns in the international business. Now, global trade has followed a highly volatile pattern since the onset of the COVID 19. So, after the COVID 19, like everybody is affected, there is not even a single uh, life on this planet which has not affected due to this COVID 19. So, the international business has also affected, and it has affected more than anything else. So, global trade has followed a highly volatile pattern since the onset of COVID-19 pandemic. Fragmentation and increased heterogeneity of the trade performance characteristics not only the rebound 2021 and 2022, but also the recent trade is slowed down. So recent trend is like it has slowed down because of the effect of the pandemic COVID-19. While it is premature to say that whether the recent trend is a substantial departure from the established global trade or not, it appears that it is possible that COVID-19 disruptions initiated a significant shift in global trade. See, because of this global pandemic, many countries were not able to pay off their debt. Even in the individual capacity also, those who have taken loan, they were unable to pay off their loans. The demands of the products and services slowed down. People were very much uh, affected, and they were not able to even meet their day-to-day life. So earning capacity of the persons have also slowed down. So in that way, the consumer consumption power has also slowed down. The convergence of these factors arise and raises the possibility that global trade patterns will be undergoing more significant changes, ushering in a new era with distinct challenges and opportunities for economies worldwide. Monitoring these developments closely is crucial in understanding the implications of evolving trade dynamics for developing countries. So, now the next, so this is the recent trend that after the this pandemic, it has slowed down, but slowly it is increasing. It is on the increasing trend, and now it is on the recovery path, and it will take few more years to recover. Now the next thing is, in the last class we have also discussed what are the determinants and characteristics of the international business. Significance we had also discussed. So today we would be discussing some the advantages of this international trade, international business was also discussed in the last class. And what are the modes of or formats of the international business? Basically, the modes or formats of the international businesses are: one can enter into the international business through a joint venture, through the business of export or import, through licensing, through uh, contacting. So these are the modes basically from which one can enter into the international business. Now, I would just like to ask the students that what does it mean by the word multinational company? When we study the subject international business, there comes a word multinational company, or every now and then we hear the word international companies or multinational companies. So, what does it mean by this? International company and global company, both the things are same. So, international companies turn into multinational companies. First, they have to be international companies, and later on they become the multinational companies. So, international companies turn into the multinational companies when they start responding to the specific needs of different country market regarding product, price, and promotion. So these three P's are there. Product, P, P, P. P stands for product, P stands for price, and P stands for promotion. This stage is also referred as multi-domestic companies. These companies formulate different strategies for different markets, because one market is suitable for one product, that product may not be suitable for other markets or for other countries, because everybody's custom is different, tradition is different, their eating habit is different, the climate of the countries are different. So accordingly, the product has to be designed. They operate like a domestic market of country concerned in each of their market. Now, in India, everybody is knowing about the Amazon. Amazon is what? Is Amazon an Indian company? No, it is not an Indian company. But we are familiar with the name of the Amazon company in such a way that we think that it is our own company, our Indian company, while it is not an Indian company. So what do they do? They are into the e-business. E-business. You can buy and sell the products on Amazon, and through that you can order anything, any goods or services. Then we have already discussed the domestic business and international businesses differences. We have also discussed. Then what are the advantages of doing this internet, or why do people go for international business? What are the advantages or merits of international business? The advantages would be like by entering into the international market or collaborating with another company, one company gets the benefit of technology advancement. They are being able to raise good amount of funds. Capital is being raised through this. They get the expertise of other companies. They get they get the advantage of logistics also, market also. So all these are basically the advantage of uh, entering into the international business. Now we will be discussing about the globalization. What does it mean by the word globalization? See, International Monetary Fund or IMF has defined globalization as the growing interdependence of countries worldwide through increasing volume and variety of cross-border transactions in goods and services, and of international capital flows, and also through more rapid widespread diffusion of technology. So this is the definition that has been given by the International Monetary Fund. Let us see what are the features of globalization. Number one feature of globalization is opening and planning to expand business throughout the world. So through globalization, one can enter or plan or expand their business throughout the world. Number two is erasing the differences between domestic market and foreign market. So due to this globalization, the difference between the domestic market and foreign market has erased. Now the next point would be buying and selling of goods and services from or to any country in the world. So all these things have been possible due to the globalization. Nowadays, anybody can buy goods and services from any country. So due to the globalization, it has become possible. Then establishing manufacturing and distribution facilities in any part of the world. Next is product planning and development are based on market consideration of the entire world. Next is sourcing of factors of production of inputs like raw materials. Due to the globalizations, it has become easier to source the raw material, the finance, international finance, the technology, the what do we say, human resource. Human resource is also a capital. Human resource, then management skill from the entire globe. Now then global orientation in strategy like organization structure, organization culture and managerial expertise. Now let us understand what are the process of globalization. The processes of globalizations are: number one, domestic company exports to foreign countries through the dealers or distributors of the home country. So if anybody wants to enter into the business of business of exporting the goods, they have to enter through the dealers or distributors of the home country. In the second stage, what happens? The domestic company exports to foreign countries directly or or on its own. So either you can enter with the through the dealer, or you can enter directly on your own. For that, you need to take export license and other the documentary things have to be complied with. Next is in the third stage of the domestic company becomes an international company by establishing production and marketing operations in various key foreign countries. So one needs to establish their own marketing as well as production division in the country where they want to sell their products. Then in the fourth stage, what happens? The company replicates a foreign company in a foreign country by handling all the facilities including the R&D, that is research and development, full-fledged human resources, etc. And in the last stage, what happens? A company becomes a true foreign company by serving the needs of foreign customers, just like the host country's company serves. Now see, as I said, that a product which is suitable in your own country, in a domestic country, may not be suitable with the same component. If a product is made and same component in same proportion is used in that product, and that product is suitable for a country, may not be suitable for other country. Let's take an example. In India, okay, our eating pattern and eating habit is different from what the Western culture and Western country has. Number two, their weather or climate of our country is different from the weather or climate of the Western countries. So definitely our eating habit, our consumption pattern will very much differ from them. So the component यहाँ बहुत गर्म पड़ती है, वहाँ बहुत ठंडा पड़ता है. तो उस हिसाब से हमारा जो जो कुछ भी अगर एडिबल प्रोडक्ट है उसका जो कंपोनेंट है और वहां का जो कंपोनेंट होगा वो प्रोपोर्शन में डिफरेंस होगा, तभी जाकर के वहां पे बिकेगा. ये नहीं कि इंडिया में बिक रहा है तो सेम चीज सेम कंपोनेंट सेम प्रोडक्ट को जाकर के लॉन्च कर देंगे तो वो नहीं बिकेगा. नाउ ग्लोबलाइजेशन ऑफ मार्केट्स. सो व्हाट डज इट मीन बाय ग्लोबलाइजेशन ऑफ मार्केट्स? Basically, globalization of markets refer to the process of integrating and merging of distant world markets into a single market. So nowadays, due to or because of the globalization, the market has become one or single market. This process involves the identification of some common norm, value, taste, preference, and convenience, and slowly enables the cultural shift towards the use of a common product or service. A number of consumer products have global acceptance. They have got global acceptance. Let us take an example of there are lot many products are there which have got global presence and global acceptance also. And I mean, the way it is being consumed in one country, it is also consumed in another country in the same way, or a service which is taken in one country in the same way, it is taken in other countries also, in Western countries also. Let's take an example, like for example, Pepsi, Coca-Cola. Then we can say we can take the example of say McDonald's burger. Then let us take the example of what MTV. Okay, so these are the examples. Their users or Sony Walkman, you can say, or let us say Levi's jeans. So their customers, irrespective of their behavior, their custom, their trade, their values, their taste, the customers or the consumers across the world are more or less same. So there is no need to change in the product combination. Now, what are the features? Now, sorry, regions for globalization of market. So, what are the regions that regions for globalization of markets? So, number one region is large size industrialization enables mass production. So, what they are saying large size industrialization enables mass production. The companies found that the size of domestic market is very small to suffice the production output and hence output for foreign markets. So now the companies are finding that the domestic market, the entire products cannot be sold, and if the market is limited to a domestic country, then their profitability will not be more. So what they are doing, they are producing the goods in large in number, and then they are exporting those goods to other countries, to foreign countries. Now, to reduce the risk diversity, the portfolio of countries, companies globalize markets in order to increase their profits and achieve company goals. That's what I have discussed. The adverse business environment in the home country pushed the companies to globalize their markets. So, if in one country, if there is adverse business environment in the home country, then that has pushed the domestic company to go out and explore the market of the other country. Like in the previous example, previous sessions example, we had talked about uh, business in setting up a new business in Afghanistan or India. So any businessman would prefer to set up a business in India. Now let us take example that if an existing business is there in Afghanistan, okay. So if an existing business is there in Afghanistan, so even they would prefer to shift or relocate their business from Afghanistan to a country where stability of the government is there, where the policies and practices related to business is more transparent and quicker, where taxation patterns are good, where terrorists are not there. So even they would also prefer to go from their own home country or domestic country. So this is what happened. This is what they are saying, that the adverse business environment. Now our next point is to cater to the demand of their products in the foreign markets. See, many a times what happens, your goods are not consumed large in number because of unawareness of about the products. So you need to make awareness about your products outside the world. In that way, the demand of the product will be more. Now, the failure of the domestic companies in catering the needs of their customers pulled the foreign companies to the market products. Now, there are certain, again, there are, so we have just covered the regions for globalization of markets. Now, we will be covering the regions for globalization of products. So, there was region for globalization of markets. And now, let us see what they are saying, regions for globalization of products. Number one is imposition of restriction on imports by foreign countries. Okay, forces the MNCs to establish the manufacturing facilities in other countries. For example, Toyota or Japanese or Japan establishes plant in USA and UK due to import restrictions. Number two, availability of high quality of raw materials and components in other countries, which is not available in your own country. Now, availability of inputs at low cost in foreign countries. The raw material or input cost is more in your country compared to the countries where you are sourcing the raw material from. The input cost is lesser. Now, then availability of skilled labor resources at low cost. If you are producing the goods in your country, your labor cost is more compared to if you are planning to shift your plant in a underdeveloped countries where the labor cost would be cheaper, it would be lesser compared to the previous one. So that so this is one of the reason. Now then, to reduce the cost of transportation and easy logistic management. Another point is to reduce the cost of transportation. See, nowadays the cost of transportation also matters. Okay, logistic, from logistic point of view, it has to be seen. Now, next is facility of exporting to other neighboring foreign countries. So you have to see that our logistic is such that we are able to export the goods, or we are able to export the goods to the neighboring foreign countries at a faster pace. To design and produce the products as per the varying tastes of customers. The products should be designed as per the varying tastes of the customers. Okay. Now, the process of globalization of production helps the companies to design its following step. Number one is low cost leadership. Number two is superior quality. Number three is superior speed. For example, Jet Airlines and Boeing 777 has 1,32,500 major components. So Jet Airlines and Boeing 777 has got how many major components? 1,32,500. These components are produced in 545 different locations of the globe. So the components 1,32,500 which are used for the jet airlines and Boeing 777, it is produced in 545 different locations of the globe. A small optical company in USA, Swan Optical, manufactures its eyewear in low-cost factories in Hong Kong, China, Japan, and Italy. So the name of the company is what? It is a USA based company. The name of the company is Swan Optical. But what they are doing, they are manufacturing its eyewear in low cost factories. So where they are sourcing, where they have set up their plant, they have set up their plant in Hong Kong, China, Japan, and Italy. Why? Because of the above mentioned advantages. Availability of raw material, logistic solution is there. Then there is say capital raising capital is easier. Then there is, let's say, it is easier for them to export the goods to the neighboring country. These are the advantages. Now, globalization of investment. Globalization of investment refers to investment of capital by a global company. So, what does it mean by this? Globalization of investment means refers to investment of capital by a global company in any part of the world. Investment of capital by a global company in any part of the world. Now, global company conducts the financial feasibility of new projects in different countries of the world and invites capital in their country where it is relatively more profitable. Globalization of investment is also known as foreign direct investment. So, what is foreign direct investment? FDI? When foreign organization invests in your country for any purpose, it is known as FDI, foreign direct investment. FDI occurs when a firm invests directly in new facilities or to produce and or market a product or service in a foreign country. Like for example, Coca-Cola acquired a number of bottling companies throughout India by investment directly. So now by investment directly they have acquired the many of the companies of bottle making companies. So these bottle making companies are also owned by Coca-Cola company. Now next point is many countries before 1930 created barriers relating to export and import and foreign investment. So before 1930 many barriers were there and it was created by man. So the creation of uh, GATT stand for creation of general agreement in tariffs and trade. So there must be an agreement with relating to general agreement of tariffs and trade, reduced the trade restrictions significantly. Again, the establishment of the World Trade Organization WTO has contributed to the elimination of investment barriers phenomenally. So what is GATT? General Agreement in Tariffs and Trade. It was needed because earlier there were a lot of restrictions were there for entering into the foreign markets. So now there is, and that due to the tariffs also, businessmen were not able to reach out those countries. Now many countries reduced barriers in investment. As many as 34 countries made 85 changes in the laws reducing investment barriers in 1991. Reason for now there is reason for globalization, globalization of investment. There has been a rapid increase in the volume of global trade. Many countries provide more favorable environment for direct investment. For FDI, there are many countries which are providing uh, which are providing what? favorable environment. Let us understand it. In Pakistan, there is no any favorable environment for coming to the FDI, foreign direct investment. So foreign direct investment is also known as if any company or if any organization is coming to your country and setting up or commissioning of a new plant and machinery and starting a new factory or business. So see what would be the benefits? The benefits would be your country will be benefited in many ways. You will be getting a quality product. There will be lot many opportunities will be created by them or it will be explored by them. Lot many job opportunities will be there. People will be uh, paid more. So these are the benefits. Now, so significant amount of FDI is directed to the developing countries in Asia and Eastern Europe. In addition to increase in volume of FDI, its composition has also been changing. Initially, it was directed towards USA. Later, it was directed towards countries like UK, Japan, France, China, etc. Now, and medium companies, small and medium-sized companies, have started investing in various countries. So now, even the smaller companies, they have also started investing in different uh, venture or business avenues across the globe. So now it has become very easy to do the international business compared to what earlier it used to be. Now, is globalization desirable? So, advantages of globalization is what? Free flow of capital. Capital can come down to your country with like a free flow. Globalization helps free flow of capital for one country to another country. Then free flow of technology is there. So through globalization, it helps you to free flow of technology from advanced countries to the developing countries. So this is what? Desirable or not? Advantageous or not? Of course it is. Then there would be what? The competitiveness would be there. If the goods are coming from other countries and it is of let's say export quality and the quality is really good, then the local market vendors or the local market manufacturers will also be doing, we will be trying to improve their quality so that the customer or the consumer base or the users base may not be may not shift, sorry, might not shift, or they want them not to shift from using their products to the international products. So due to this, the competitiveness would be increasing, and due to this competition between the foreign, uh, between the foreign product which is being sold to you as a customer and the local product, who would be benefited most? The user would be benefited most, because they would be claiming that our product is good and they would be claiming our product is good, but it is the consumer or the users who once use the product, they would always uh, be trying to go for the product which is better. So in that way, due to the competition, who gets benefited? The benefit is received by the customer. Now then, spread out of manufacturing facilities, their capitalization of globalization of production leads to spread up of manufacturing facilities in all the global countries depending upon the location. Now, balanced development of world economies with a flow of capital, technology, and locating manufacturing facilities in developing countries. Increase in production and consumption. So this is also one of the advantage of globalization, is that increase in production and consumption. So once production is increased, the consumption has to be increased. Then only your product will be having proper consumption and proper demand. Low prices with high quality. This is the motto of even a shopkeeper also, or even a smaller businessman also, to keep the quality of the goods very high as well as the cost should be lower. Now, cultural exchanges and demand for variety of products. Globalization reduces the physical distance among the countries and enable the people of different countries to acquire the culture of other countries. The culture exchange in turn make the people to demand for a variety of products which are being consumed in other countries. For example, the demand for masala dosa, let us say, the demand for masala dosa or Hyderabad biryani is in USA and Europe. Similarly, the demand for American pizza is there in India. So we can say that due to the cultural exchange or cultural change from one country to another, people come there to they make the awareness about their product, and due to the cultural this thing, uh, the products are liked by other countries also, other countries consumers also. Now then next point is increase in employment and income. Globalization results in shift of manufacturing facilities to the low wage developing countries. What they are trying to do, I gave one example in the last session that the IBM is सॉफ्टवेयर मेकिंग कंपनी, आईबीएम का लैपटॉप आता था, आईबीएम और भी बहुत सारा चीज सॉफ्टवेयर बनाती थी. तो व्हाट दे हैव डन, now they are focusing only on what software, and their manufacturing part has been set up in China. So and they have outsourced this work to China. So what happens, they have set up their plants in other countries, and in that way the globalization is helping them to increase in the employment as well as in the income of the country. Then higher standard of living. So how do you know that someone is living highly standard in a highly standard manner? Because of the kinds of goods they are using, the kinds of services they are using. The let us say globalization reduces prices and thereby chances of consumption of living standards of living people all the countries and the world. If you are earning a good package, good salary, then your standard of living will be higher compared to the persons who are not earning that much. So if your standard of living would be higher, you would be consuming more and more goods of what high quality and high prices. So in that way it is happening. Now balanced human development, increase in the industrialization on balanced lines in the globe, improve the skills of people. See, if you are moving from this country to any other country and you get an opportunity to meet with any skilled persons, okay, then definitely your exposure will be more. You would be in a position to learn more and more things. So this is what they are saying. So balanced human development. So your development would be more. Now increase in welfare and prosperity. Obviously, it will increase the prosperity and welfare. Now, with this, we came to know that the advantages of globalization. Now there are certain disadvantages are also there of globalization. So what are the disadvantages of globalization? The disadvantages would be globalization kills domestic business. Once the foreign business or foreign direct investment or foreign companies are coming to your own country, what they are doing? Actually, they have got a lot of resources, they have got lot of money, lot of capital, huge capital they are having, huge manpower they are having. They are having very much skilled manpower and resources of all kinds, as well as the support of the government is also there. So, in that way, it would be killing the local market, the local vendors, the local manufacturers would be killed by them, because local people they do not have that much of resources, that much of skilled labor, that much of capital they do not have. So they would be not in a position to fight with them or to give competition to them. So they would be killed. So this is what they are saying. The MNCs from advanced countries utilize the opportunity created by globalization, established manufacturing and marketing facilities in developing countries. The domestic business of the developing countries failed to compete with the MNCs on the quality and technology front. They are having a very good setup of research and development. They are very rich in terms of science and technology. So how can a person compete with them with having nothing? This leads to closing down of domestic company, which is clearly evident in India. There is also dumping from China. Dumping from China मतलब चाइना वाले क्या करते हैं, सामान बनाते हैं, गुड्स बनाते हैं और इसको क्या करते हैं, इंडिया में भेज देते हैं. अभी जितना आपको पूजा होता है, जो दुर्गा पूजा है या काली पूजा है या सरस्वती पूजा है या गणेश पूजा है, उसमें लोग क्या करते हैं, लोग जैसे सरस्वती पूजा में हम लोग मूर्तियां लाते हैं मार्केट से, मूर्ति लाते हैं, आइडल ऑफ सरस्वती माता, एंड वी जस्ट परफॉर्म पूजा एट आवर होम. ठीक है, तो उसमें पूजा करते हैं. लेकिन आपको पता होगा कि चाइना क्या करता है, वो मूर्ति भी चाइना से बन के आता है. मतलब हिंदू का भगवान, हिंदू का विद्या की देवी सरस्वती माता का भी फोटो या गणेश जी का भी फोटो वो चाइना से बन के आ रहा है. चाइना से बना करके वो क्या करता है, उसको डंप करता है यहाँ पर. डंपिंग, डंपिंग मतलब क्या होता है, जैसे कचरा को डंप किया जाता है, इन द सिमिलर फैशन व्हाट डू दे डू, दे जस्ट चोरी छिपे या कैसे भी करके उसको मना भी कर दिया जाता है. इवन देन they just try to capture the market, and Chinese products are basically cheaper compared to Indian products. So what do? We also are eager to buy Chinese products. Now in mobile industry also, many Chinese companies have entered into the Indian market. Okay. So what this is doing, this has just killed some of the entries. Okay, and which might would have become the from a small scale industry to large scale industries in our country, that has been killed. और हमारे यहाँ जो कुम्हार लोग जो बनाते हैं बर्तन या फिर वो मूर्ति बनाते हैं, उनका भी रोजगार वो छीन लेता है, क्योंकि वहां से ऑटोमेटिक बन के आ जाता है और ज्यादा अट्रैक्टिव रहता है मूर्ति वगैरह. तो क्या होता है, हमारे यहाँ का जो कारीगर है उसका, मिट्टी का बर्तन बनाने वाले का काम भी छिन गया, उसका भी रोजगार आ गया, उसके यहाँ अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट आ गया. नेक्स्ट इज exploits human resources. So another points of demerits are or disadvantages are, the process of globalization helps companies to move to the developing countries which lack adequate laws and regulation to protect their human resources and the environment. These unscrupulous foreign industries abuse the labor law, abuse the labor and natural resources. What do? They just abuse the natural resources of the countries where they are trying to dump their products. Ignore workplace safety and health issues. In fact, the cost of population in developing world increase at par with advanced. क्या है, जितना भी डेवलपिंग कंट्रीज है उसका जो पॉपुलेशन है वो ज्यादा होता है और बढ़ते ही जाता है कंपेयर टू द what developed nations. Their population is lower, and they do not have that much of population. ठीक है. Next point is leads to unemployment and underemployment. So what does it mean by this? MNCs produce the products in their home countries or in some other countries and market it developing countries, resulting in reduction in domestic countries operations. तो क्या है, एक कंट्री में माल बना करके दूसरे कंट्री में गुड्स को सेल करना, माल को सेल करना, उससे क्या होता है, जो डोमेस्टिक कंट्री है वहां पे ऑपरेशन कम होता है, वहां पे काम कम होता है, जिस वजह से अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट बढ़ा हुआ है, बढ़ता है. Thus, in turn, it leads to reduction in the employment opportunity. Particularly, it has it in less developed countries. In fact, Indian economy has already started experiencing the problem of unemployment and underemployment consequent upon globalization. Now, decline in demand for domestic product. Decline in demand of domestic product. What does it mean by this? It means selling of high quality foreign products in low prices of MNCs. So what it does, it reduces the demand for the domestic food. Selling of high quality का कोई प्रोडक्ट है और विदेशी प्रोडक्ट है और एमएनसी के द्वारा बेचा जा रहा है और लो कॉस्ट में, तो क्यों कोई देसी सामान लेगा या देसी जो आता है आपका प्रोडक्ट है उसको खरीदेगा? क्यों कोई खरीदेगा? कोई नहीं खरीदेगा. इंडियन बिजनेसमैन एंड फार्मर्स Now, Indian businessmen and farmers have already experienced this problem. Now, the decline in income, unemployment, and decline in demand for domestic products of both industrial and agricultural goods, including services, leads to reduction in income of the people. Then, widening gap between the rich and पुअर. अभी जो आ रहा है एमएनसी जो कंपनी ग्लोबलाइजेशन के कारण जो आ रहा है, इससे क्या हो रहा है, जो गरीब हैं वो और गरीब होते जाते हैं और जो अमीर हैं और अमीर होते जाते हैं. कैसे? ग्लोबलाइजेशन नॉट ओनली रिजल्ट्स इन डिक्लाइनिंग इन इनकम बट widens the gap between rich and poor. This is because competent people, people with innovative skills, efficiency, etc., get abnormal income. Abnormal income मतलब वो ज्यादा इनकम मिलता है उसको, बहुत ज्यादा. While other average people, they have to strive for even a minimum wage. This results in widening of gap between the rich and people. अभी फॉर एग्जांपल एक ऐसा ऐसा समझिए कि इंडिया में जो सॉफ्टवेयर प्रोफेशनल्स है वो अगर किसी एमएनसी में काम करता है, if someone is a expert in developing software or his expertise is lies in the area of, let's say, software company, software. So, and his salary would be how much? Let's say 3 lakhs rupees per month. 3 lakhs rupees per month in USA. Whereas some of the graduates were just graduates, how much they would be earning? They would not, they would be earning how much? Let's say 10,000 rupees per month. So see what the difference is. Now then, transfer of natural resources. MNCs establish their manufacturing facilities in developing countries, exploit their natural resources and sell the products in other countries. Through this, the natural resources of developing countries are countries. Now it leads to commercial and political colon, colonialism. The criticism of globalization, fear the globalization ultimately results in commercial colonialism by the superpowers like USA and EU. EU मतलब European Union. They also argue that the commercial colonialism ultimately results in political rivalry. Now, national next point is national sovereignty at stake. Sovereignty. The Criticizers of globalization results in shift of economic power from independent countries for the supernatural organizations. अभी क्या हो गया है, बहुत सारा ऑर्गेनाइजेशन बन गया है, कोई एक कंट्री दूसरे कंट्री को दबा नहीं सकता है, हर कंट्री किसी न किसी ग्रुप में या ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के साथ जुड़ा हुआ है. फॉर एग्जांपल वर्ल्ड ट्रेड ऑर्गेनाइजेशन डब्ल्यूटीओ के साथ बहुत सारा कंट्री है, उसमें अगर आप कुछ करता है कोई तो वो एक साथ मिल करके वो खड़ा हो जाएगा, देन बैन करेगा तो एक साथ कर देगा. तो क्या हो गया, ये डब्ल्यूटीओ जैसे हो गया. देन देयर ईयू, ईयू स्टैंड्स फॉर यूरोपियन यूनियन, यूरोपियन यूनियन है, जितना भी यूरोपियन कंट्रीज है सब ने एक यूनियन बना लिया है, the United Nations, etc. The sovereignty of the domestically elected government is undermined. तो जो इलेक्टेड गवर्नमेंट है उसका जो कंट्री का जो सॉवरेनिटी है वो क्या रहता है, एट ए स्टेक. नाउ ग्लोबलाइजेशन बैलेंसिंग एक्ट, दो the negative the supporters argue that it is only a short term phenomenon. In the long run, the process of all the world nations. At this point, it is viewed that globalization is inevitable for the development of the world. So now let us sum up. The world economy becoming global. We have seen that many drivers of globalization which are thrusting the nations states towards a more tightly integrated global economy. The lesson also reviewed the problems and prospects of globalization of Indian business. So, let me just remind you for certain keywords. What are the keywords? Number one is multinational enterprise. So, what does it mean by this? It is a firm that owns operations in more than one country. So, that is called multinational enterprise. Number two is globalization. So, trend away from distinct national economy units and towards one huge global market. This is what globalization is. Then globalization of market, it means moving away from economic system in which national markets are distinct entities isolated by trade barriers and barriers of distances, time and culture, and towards a system in which national markets are merging into one global market. The next is, or last point is, that globalization of production. Now, trend by individual firms to dispense parts of their productive processes to different locations around the globe to take advantage of differences in cost and quality of factors of production. So, with this, we are ending our today's session. We have covered the concept of globalization, merits of globalization, characteristics of globalization, why it is needed, what are the advantages, what are the disadvantages, what are the barriers for globalization. Each and every aspect of globalization we have already discussed in today's session. So we are ending today's session. Thank you. Bye.